हेलो। हाँ। हाँ, अभी आप मत बात करो, मैं बाद में बात करती हूँ आपसे, ठीक है। Welcome everybody to yet another episode of LAJA TV. Today is March 1st, and here I am with yet another exciting bouquet of news, inspiring stories, and an interesting and an inspiring guest who's going to show us, who's going to tell so many interesting insights into the world that she's from and into a world that all of us want to know so much about. So before I jump right into the news, let me tell you a little bit more about myself and Lajja. I am Vandana Joshil from LAJA TV. I'm the managing director of LAJA TV, and it gives me great pleasure to come online, come live on the 1st and on the 15th of the month and talk to you about LAJA. What is LAJA? LAJA is a forum, India's first forum that gives women a non-judgmental space to be themselves. This is a space where women can come talk to us, share their lives with us, learn from us, teach us, be inspired by the amazing women that are in the group and who visit the group and are here to tell us so much more about the world, and then inspire others as these women themselves grow. So this is Laja. We have chapters across Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, Ahmedabad, and we have many more new things lined up for you. So now let me jump right into the news. So what is the news? On February 18th, the world witnessed the historic landing of NASA's Perseverance rover, the most advanced as it streaked through the Martian atmosphere and landed safely on the floor of a vast crater, its first stop on a search for traces of ancient microbial life on the red planet. Why am I telling you this news? Because among the scientists who were part of this historical mission was an Indian American, Dr. Swati Mohan. She spearheaded the development of the attitude control and she spearheaded the development of the attitude control and the landing system for the rover. Dr. Swati is Mars 2020 guidance, navigation and controls, that is GN&C operations lead. She led the attitude control system of Mars 2020 during operations. Besides that, she was the lead system engineer throughout the development. She is a key communicator between the GN and C subsystem and the rest of the project's teams. Her responsibilities include looking after the team, scheduling the mission controls, staffing for GN&C, and guiding the policies and procedures as it uses in the mission control room. Also noteworthy is another Indian, Bhavya Lal, who was appointed by NASA as the acting chief of staff. Lal will be responsible for the day-to-day operations at NASA's headquarters and will work towards shaping the strategic direction of the space agency. Truly, this is a moment of pride for the entire women clan, especially so for the millions of Indian women out here who are still fighting patriarchal norms and trying to find their own calling. I think this is truly a huge step forward for womankind. Going forward, I'd like to share some news from Laja. The very first month of the self-defense workshop at Laja took off with great enthusiasm. The participants, most of whom suffer from stiff joints, including me, and hardly work out, yes, me, joined in, and despite the post-workout pain, ensured that we all logged in on time for the next day's workshop. The facilitator Ashwin taught some basic steps to safeguard one's mobile and also some muscle beating punches and jabs. Last week's high intensive training session was a sure hit because with an overall workout of the entire body, what more could you have asked for? March 8th being International Women's Day, we at LAJA aim to celebrate it throughout the month. Starting from today with an inspiring guest at LAJA TV, at today's LAJA TV, followed by some power-packed workshops, talks, and sessions throughout the month across chapters. We also have an announcement to make. Yes, remember right at the start I spoke about our chapters in Mumbai, Delhi, Ahmedabad, and Pune? Well, we have another chapter starting now. We will be starting our chapter in Hyderabad. Yes, Laja's coming to Hyderabad and we are super duper excited about it. So, yes, for your folks, stay tuned and we will keep telling you what the Laja Hyderabad chapter is all about. And all you women who are listening to us from Hyderabad, please make sure that you connect with us and we will put you onto our groups. So, yes, those were the news for the first part of the news. Now, let me call upon our guest for today. She's a dynamic, hardworking, passionate, and true achiever. Join me in welcoming Dimple Dugar. Dimple, can I have you on screen? Yes. Hello, hello. Welcome to Laja. Thank you so much for accepting our invite and coming here to join us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm quite delighted, and I've been listening to all the empowering things that you've been saying. So, thank you for having me on this forum.
Thank you so much. So before I jump right into the questions, let me introduce Dimple a little bit more about to all of you who are listening to us. So Dimple is a veteran filmmaker equipped with the knowledge and craft of filmmaking with over 14 years of experience in the media industry. She has a strong background in writing, directing for ad films, and digital content-led video. She is a creative director heading content production for Brand Solutions and Convergence Network 18 as a consultant. She recently won the Video Next Asia Award Jan 2020 Gold Best Drama for a short film that she had written, directed, and produced for HDFC brand under First Post. She is a Mumbai based entrepreneur and founding CEO of JVD Films production house and the Pixellence Studios, one of the most sought after VFX and animation studios in Bollywood and television industry. And in just a span of 5 years, she is a VFX creative director for Bollywood web series and ad films, and has done web series for Woot called 9 Months, season 4 and 5. And her dream projects are Paramveer Chakra Bana Singh and Violated. So welcome, Dimple. Welcome to Lajja TV once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such an overwhelming introduction.
Oh, you have earned it all. And I think what we talk about you is less. So let me, before, we have so much more to learn from you, and the time is really short. So let me jump right into the questions. You are a name to reckon with in your field. And the fact that I read out all these things about you was to emphasize on that. So, how has your journey been so far?
I think the journey has been quite a roller coaster. I think a lot of women will agree with me for this because for women it's never been so easy, and it'll never be. At least I don't see it soon. But yes, I think if we keep our spirits high and we keep pushing ourselves, the journey will be more smoother, hopefully. But so far, it's been a
Absolutely.
roller coaster. I have gone through all the ups and downs of, and
As
I've
yes.
enjoyed the ride as well.
I think that's what's important, that you enjoy no matter whether you're high or low.
Yeah.
The fact that you enjoy something is what makes you get up every morning and want to go back there all over
Got
again.
to keep going, absolutely.
Yes. So, like we all know, every industry has its challenges. But if a woman wants to step into your field, what should she expect, or what can she expect?
Um, Not just my field. I think I can give a little more broader answer to this, and then come to my answer. That the biggest challenge facing women, today is, as you rightly said, patriarchy. Okay, and this is especially evident, regardless of a woman's experience, education, ability. Um, anything the perception of that woman is always going to be that she's less qualified or she's less competent than men. What patriarchy has done is convinced people very very strongly that that even if a woman is strong and intelligent, let's not have her at the top seat, because a woman who's intelligent and strong is a problem.
Ah,
So
okay.
that is also another thing. And of course a lot of lack in equality and education and skills is still something which women are mostly facing. So this is the broader thing perspective. Coming to specifically my industry, the problem which I feel that, the challenges that a woman is seeking is, of course, a lot to do with me too, a lot to do
Ah,
with especially in film industry, if you're an actor who is inspiring to be an actress, then unfortunately still there is a lot of I don't know, like a barter of different kinds of things. So that is one. Secondly, like I mentioned, like even if you're very good at your work, even if you're firstly lack of skill and training. If you are skilled, lack of chances, and then if you get the chance, then lack of appreciation, lack of recognition. And in case you are recognized, then, and in case you are at a top position, then I think a lot of men wouldn't like it out there. So so eventually I don't if you had to name a few of women directors in Bollywood, I bet you wouldn't be able to name three right away,
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
So,
Yes.
that's how challenging it is, I would say.
Yeah. This is, it's actually coincidental that you mentioned this acceptance, acknowledgement, because that is something that Laja has always been working for. We keep telling people that women don't need empowerment. We are already empowered. If you start from the basics, we are empowered because we are handling so many roles. We are, manage the home, we manage our own careers, we manage children, we are the nurse, we are the maid, we are the cook, you name it, we are able to take on that role. And we are able to do that because we are empowered.
Hmm.
What we really need is that acknowledgement, that acceptance, acknowledgement that yes, you are doing this and you're doing a brilliant job at it, acceptance that yes, we know that you can do better than this, and encouragement that yes, you can really go out there and achieve what you want. So it's a coincidence, it's a lovely coincidence that you mentioned all of this, and that it works completely with the ethos that Laja has always had. We need
A lot
people
of
to
backing
encourage
from
us.
family, a lot of
Yes,
backing is required from the family, because your husband has to be understanding, your father has to be that liberal minded person who has, raised you up that well, your mother has to be that lady, iron lady, who has to support you. Okay, okay, I am standing by you, why don't you go ahead? And your mother-in-law also. So I'm saying that,
yes.
there has to be a lot of backing at home as well.
True, true. So, this completely cuts off the next question that I had in mind, but I will ask you nonetheless.
Sure.
Women and men complete each other. That's what we say. We are the yin for the yang, we are the
Right.
white for the grays or blacks. So, how should we see men? Should we see them as subjugators? Should we see them as oppressors, competitors, or fellow team members? How, in the ideal world, I think we would like to see them as fellow team members, but how much of that is true? But
Ideal world is a blissful concept. And coming to the reality, I just wonder that you have put these options because you believe somewhere these types of men exist, right? So
yes,
if I had to speak about one or two or a bunch of people, maybe I could say that ideally this is what should happen, like team members. But like you rightly mentioned, each one of them, be it a subjugator, be it, a team member, be it somebody who's trying to corner you, all sorts of men are there in the world. What I still personally feel is that, how does it even matter? Like,
true.
whoever they are, whatever they are, how does my performance matter with regards to what they think or how they behave? uh, Definitely what matters is that if I have to build a team, I need to be very sure of the kind of men I pick. There I
Yes,
would like to pick the team member spirit, men who
yes,
have the education, who are liberated from, who are liberated people from mind, who know that yes, if somebody is doing well or a woman is at an authoritative position, that person will be able to acknowledge that and take it in
yes,
stride, you know so
absolutely.
not just on the face accept you, and then behind, they can't take it in their stride of the ego or something. So
Hmm.
I think I should only be concerned about my team and how I want to go ahead. I should rather not be concerned about what kinds of men exist, because then that list is way longer than the four options you've given me.
True. I agree. I do agree. But like I said, when we talk about team players, we are not just talking about those men or those men and women who are with us at our workplaces. When we are talking about team members, we are talking about, like you rightly said, a husband who supports you, a brother who encourages you, a father who guides you in the right direction. So we are talking of team players or team members in all of these aspects. Men who are there to push you, egg you, probably shake you up when you're down and tell you that, okay, pull up your sleeves, go ahead and do what you want to do. That is the kind of team players we are talking about.
So very rarely, I think women are so super lucky to have, all these important men in their life, thinking in the same direction. Ideally speaking, since there is an education inequality, what I mean is what education my father got through, 30, 40 years back, what my husband has gone through, or my brother is taking now. There's so much educational gap, number one. Number two, there is so much inequality in education in terms of women versus men. So like, at every stage, because of these inequality in education and stuff like that, I don't think it is so easy to change perceptions which are so deep rooted, and which have become like I think imprinted in DNA, so it's not going to like just get erased so easily. Also, I'll just
True.
cite an example, like, if my father is a very liberated person, my husband is a very orthodox person, but at the same time, because he loves me, he supports me. So
Yes.
it also has to depend on how your trust equation is at home and other things. But again, going back to my father being a liberated person, but if two people in the society will say something like, your daughter is working in odd hours, because when we are directing in some place, maybe our shift is from 2 p.m to 2 a.m or 5 a.m. So
Hmm.
whenever there is something which is disruptive, you know it's not accepted. It's not accepted,
Yes.
even if
Yes.
you're educated, even if you're in the society, even if you're your own father, brother, husband, as well.
True.
So
True.
that's
So
taboo.
we
You
we
need to face this is social stigma. You need to learn to take it with your stride. I said, as I think that's what we need to do.
Yeah. So we really have a long way to go, and I don't know how this works in countries other than India, but yes, like you said, having somebody to support you, but that person and you yourself should be able to take whatever the society throws at you with a pinch of salt, or you should have that kind of an armor to face what comes your way. There is another
You need to
question.
believe in
Yes.
your own self.
Yes, absolutely. Belief in your own self is very, very
Yeah,
important.
not playing
Also,
mind with anything else.
yes, true, true. Also, another important thing is, like you said, the Me Too. How important is it for women to, I was going to say, stop crying about injustice, because when there is injustice, you must, absolutely go ahead and, not cry about it, but scream out and let the world know that injustice is happening. But how important is it to also move forward and focus your energies on self growth, self development, and improvement? I mean, what has happened. Yes, you can continue your fight with it, but how also important is it? You can't put all your energies in there. What do you suggest? What do you say? I mean, I'm sure you would have seen a lot of cases in your industry. And like you said, the Me Too movement started from your industry, and your industry, women in your industry were really vocal about it. Uh, but how much of,
Vocal, but when? The question is when. They were
yes,
vocal after many years of media expansion, women coming up, having lesser fear that society will accept, not accept, or being able to conquer their own minds that it's okay if society doesn't accept me. I am still ready to voice out what has happened to me. I've understood your question, if I may answer. you know
yes,
um, Firstly, starting from this point that uh, you know it's not about crying over whether one should cry over it or one should not cry about it. I think in today's world you have to be very careful about when to cry. I would rather take it like that, because um, see, some injustice has happened with somebody. that person decided to cry over it. Maybe media will maybe make some money over it, or get some more TRP over it. At the end of the day, is justice delivered is important.
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
justice is not delivered at the end of the day, what's the point crying over it? Okay.
True.
So
True.
after crying over it, what are the consequences you're going to face? Is it really the ideal world or an ideal scenario? So I think women should not be so emotional. That's what I would say. What I mean is that you can cry over it, you can be vulnerable, but don't show your vulnerability to the people outside. And
Yes.
secondly, if you think something grossly wrong has happened to you, and if you have enough support system around you, then I would definitely request you to cry over it and scream it out loud, like you said. But if you don't have that kind of support system, and one out of those thousands or millions will be heard and will get justice. So probably even after the biggest of feminist movements in America, Africa, Asia, wherever you see, things really haven't moved any far. Even if you look at Delhi crime and things like that, it's not that anything has really changed in our ethos. So that's answering your question to the crying bit. Coming back to the other question, that how women should strengthen themselves and focus on the way ahead. Definitely, that's the only thing you need to do. Two things: when something happens to you which was not called for example, not just it's easy to let go of it, but first you need to forgive that person, and you need to forgive yourself as well, because always there's two people involved in it. The second, if you are not able to forgive your own self, even if you were not
Not
wrong,
at fault. Yeah,
but
yeah.
you need to learn to forgive yourself, that okay, I made a mistake, I should not have rather gone there, or something like that. Okay, I forgive myself. Also forgive that other person if you can. If you can't, then at least tell in your mind or in your subconscious, because talking with your subconscious is the only way to strengthen your mind. Okay, because your mind is conscious and subconscious. So conscious, you're already fighting the world, but subconscious, if you can't conquer your subconscious, it's not going to let you move ahead. So in a line, I would just like to sum up that you need to strengthen your core inside. And sometimes it's easier to say, like it's so easy for me to say all this right now. I have gone through so many different kinds of stigmas, and then thankfully, luckily, I have had very good family support and friends who have actually helped me come out of it. So maybe you should also identify your SOS around you, and some people who you can who can be your confidant, and
Yeah.
two-way process. That's it. But strengthen your inner core and subconscious.
This is so amazing that you're calling a spade a spade. You're telling us that yes, there is a problem in the industry or even outside. I mean, women in any industry have to face these kind of things. But it is up to the woman to know whether
Sure.
she can really put up a fight. If she's going to scream horse, then she needs to know that whether has the capacity and the ammunition to put up the fight, and whether she's also ready to wait it out and listen to all that is going to come her way. So I mean, it was very nice that you haven't honey coated it and you have called it the way it is, which is very important for everybody to understand that it's the Me Too movement, or whichever movement you talk about. Like we say, you open the newspapers and you read so many articles about the feminist movement and all of that, but then what happens to it later?
Yeah, because
How
frankly,
much further does it go?
there are cartels that are there, and like it or not like it, women are against women as well.
Yes.
So so it's not so easy for a single person to fight so many cartels. So you need to be very careful and calculative of how you want to take your life ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was a wonderful conversation. And before we end, I want to know one message that you want to give to all the women who are watching us. Should we wait for a Women's Day to celebrate our success, or should we celebrate it every day? And what should we do with ourselves?
Okay, so frankly, a Women's Day is definitely not required to, celebrate our capacity or our achievements or just being a woman. But the one message that I would like to give to the people outside is that, the depiction of a woman is like a Durga, like, she's strong, she has multiple hands, she's a multitasker, like you also mentioned earlier. Why so? But when you say we are equal, why so? Okay, we are
Yes,
capable of doing it, but doesn't, for example, if you have a Ferrari which can, drive at a 140 speed or something, or 200 or something, is it necessary to drive her every day at 200? You know,
yeah,
why can't you just give her a break as well? So I'm not just talking about break. What I meant to say is that, okay, women are considered as goddesses and everything. Okay, I like to hear that. But why do I have to be one every single
yes,
day, when every day we are fighting in so many feminist movements, so many inequality, equality, xyz, 50%? Why can we not have a more simpler life? The day we have a more simpler life, where maybe, we are working for 4 5 hours, enjoying the rest of the time of our day with maybe our family members, our kids, something like that, then I think, then that those days are the days when I think we should be celebrating Women's Day.
wow,
I would not say rather every day or this day or that day. Yes, the day we are not supposed to be handling everything, but just be like the others are. You tell a
yes,
man, you just tell a man that, okay, do something. You come from office, you buy these things, and then on the way back, you just post this courier and come back. Example.
yeah,
Okay, by that time it'll be like it's too much information to process, you know. But the same thing for women,
true.
expected that ye bhi kar lena, wo bhi kar lena, ye bhi kar lena. So that's what I feel. And if I had to say from my field perspective, like from the film industry perspective, from the direction perspective, I think I think every woman uh, definitely knows how to tell her story. So I think they are born storytellers,
Hmm.
because everything that happens in life around anybody has to go through these multiple women, and through their perspectives, and that's what how they raise their children and everything. So I think the best storytellers are already women. So I would request more and more women to come into the field of writing, direction, and production, than just acting and being in front of the camera. I think there is a lot of women who can come behind the camera and take charge. So that'll be a good
Wow.
celebration as well. That's
Yes, lovely, lovely. That's a very important thing that you said. Women are natural storytellers for sure. I'm a storyteller myself, and I know what you're talking about. But I think what you said about women. Why does a woman have to be a Durga? We are either extremes. We are either the calm, gentle, all encompassing Durga, or we are the violent, angry Kali Mata. So we are generally seen like that. But yes, I think this will change when the narrative changes. When a woman, already we have given, it's given that a woman will be able to do everything, but a man को ये काम करो फिर उसके बाद दूसरा काम करो. I think that narrative has to change. भाई हम multitask कर सकते तो आप भी कर सकते हो. So I think that is where what you would, what I'm understanding from what you're saying. So
yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you, Dimple. You've been amazing. You have shared such wonderful insights. And as a token of our appreciation from Laja, we'd like to give you something. Let me quickly share what we have in mind for you. So yes, this is a certificate of appreciation from us to you, and we hope you like this and uh, you know you stay connected with us. And we do hope to see you more at Laja, at other things that we are planning for Laja. But for now, thank you so much for being such a lovely guest on our Laja TV. And we hope to bring more women like you to inspire more women like me and take the world forward, as I say it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much for this lovely certificate. Thank you for sharing your insights as well with me. And
Thank
thank you for
you.
having me on this platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you. So
Pleasure.
yes, let's move on. That was the lovely, lovely Dimple sharing her wonderful views with us. And it's so amazing that she's so soft spoken, and she has put across her message so beautifully to all of us. And irrespective of the field or the industry that we are from, I think it is very important to find our own selves, to stay true to ourselves, to stay true to our beliefs, but also at the same time not forget the pillars of strength that come from our family, our friends. Going forth, more news. Before we go to the news, we have another surprise piece over here. Laja, as you all know, is a forum for women. We have a particular segment where which is called the Laja Growth Platform, and this is a platform where women enroll is for a subscription fee, for a very nominal subscription fee, and women over here go through workshops, seminars, talks, and they get to interact with mentors, learn, grow as they go. And one of our Lajja Growth Platform members, I'm going to talk about her today. This is Dr. Kalpa Jimit Shah. Dr. Kalpa is the founder of the Healing Tree. She's a homeopathic consultant who graduated from Srimati C.M. Patel Homeopathic College in Villeparle. She holds 11 years of experience in treating patients of various acute and chronic complaints. She is a counselor from St. Xavier's Institute, trained by Father Foster. She has further upgraded her counseling skills through various modalities like hypnosis, essential radical healing, and access bars, and she's also an NLP practitioner. And she is the wellness head at Lajja and the manager of the Mumbai chapter. So we have many women in the Lajja Growth platform who became members at the Lajja Growth platform, and they have been benefiting from all the schemes that have been provided to them, and they in turn have been getting women to join us, and I think we owe them a huge gratitude and applause for doing the wonderful job that they're doing. And before we end today's bit of news, I think I wanted to add one last bit of news, which is, often we hear of women saying that this is not allowed in my family, or ये हमारे community में नहीं allowed है, हमको तो permission ही नहीं है. Well, breaking stereotypes or illogical community and family restrictions is the need of the hour. And doing just that is Mumbai-based Afshan Farooq Qureshi. At 24, she's the first woman pilot in India from the Qureshi community. Traditionally, Qureshis are meat traders and are known to not encourage their daughters to pursue higher education or unconventional careers. But here, Shan is an engineer in electronics and telecommunications. She wanted to become a pilot, and with her parents supporting her dreams. And the title itself, I wanted to say, is "Wind Beneath Her Wings." They gave wind to her wings, and Afshan left for Florida for the Florida Flight School. Post receiving her license, she is back in India and now preparing to take the qualifying exams in March before the Directorate General of Civil Aviation for her commercial pilot's license to work in India. I think that is a very, very positive news to end with. A news that promises the world to this young lady who wanted to break the stereotypes, wanted to break the community guidelines because she was doing something good. And I think that the many other girls or young girls who are watching me, if you have dreams or aspirations to soar higher and above what your community allows you to, I think it's time that you really take wings and fly. So, with that, I end today's episode of Laja TV. I shall see you again on the 15th of March with another interesting guest, a guest who's like Dimple Broken Stereotypes, a guest who is from the film industry, but she's Zara Hatke, and she is going to tell us so much more. And I promise you that the conversation that I'm going to have with her is going to be insightful, is going to be inspiring, and is going to be an eye opener. So, with that, I sign off and I hope to see you again on March 15th. And before that, I wish all you wonderful women out there a happy International Women's Day. Let's make the entire month our month, and happy International Women's Month. So, see you on the other side on March 15th. Bye bye, take care, and bye bye.